Easy rewards, 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 easy rewards.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidi anbiya'i wal mursaleen, amma ba'd, fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Habiballah, as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. It's mentioned in the Madani Channel that the best of creation, the leader of civilization, the savior of our nation, none other than the best of creation, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. In the Musannaf of Abdul Razak, volume 2, page number 214, hadith number 3111, that the best of creation, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, has said that indeed your names are presented to me along with your identity. Therefore recite salat upon me with eloquent words. Allahu Akbar. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, welcome yet again to our silsila called Easy Rewards, Asan Nekiya. And what does this translate? I always say, what's the tafsir behind Easy Rewards and Asan Nekiya? You know, we could say that ye bhi neki hai. This is also a good deed. And what does this mean, dear viewers of Madani Channel? In this beautiful episode, coming to you from Madani Channel, coming to you from Dawat Islami, Amiri al-Sunnat, Damat Barakatum al-Aliyah. You know, we do things every single day in our day, you know, and in our lives, on a daily basis, you know, and we don't even realize whether this could be a good deed or a sin, a bad sin, or is this something I'm doing as a formality? You know, we do things every single day. But is this something that I can get reward for? That's what Dawat Islami is here to tell you. Is this a sunnah? You know, I say in every single episode that we should follow a way. Islam is a way of life. Which way? We need to follow the best way. And what's the best way? Is the way of the sunnah, the way of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. So in this silsila, we try to, you know, talk about certain topics that are part of our everyday routine, our everyday lives. So we're here, dear viewers of Madani Channel. It's a scary thing that we're in the month of Ramadan, and if you're doing something 2, 3, 4 times a day with evil intentions, then all those sins, they're multiplied by many. And then, dear viewers of Madani Channel, this is where Dawat Islami comes into it. They stop you from all that. It's the month of Ramadan. They say, don't do that. Refrain from all the sin. Don't do things as a formality. But now, if you do this, dear viewers of Madani Channel, you know that this is a good thing. You have forgotten to make intentions. Dawat Islami is being that reminder. And not only a reminder, you might be making 1 or 2 or 3 intentions. Dawat Islami is here to tell you that there's more intentions you can make. There's more good rewards to be earned. There's more deeds. Every single deed we need to collect as much as we can. We gotta have this jazba, dear viewers of Madani Channel. In the last episode, you know, we talked about the intentions of having a mobile phone. Now we're going to go deeper into this topic and have the intentions, you know, make the intentions for making and receiving phone calls, inshallah, by using your mobile phone. And dear viewers of Madani Channel, just like every single episode, we go over the positives and the negatives. I just want to mention one negative, dear viewers of Madani Channel, because time doesn't allow us. Obviously, there's loads of negatives you can sit there and think, dear viewers of Madani Channel, of having, you know, of making and receiving phone calls. But the biggest thing I would say is that, you know, whenever we get a phone call, or whenever we are phoning somebody, because it's both-way system, do we pick up the phone call for that person? Or do we expect him to pick it up, you know, no matter how we act, you know, and then when he doesn't pick it up, and you expected him to pick the phone call up, that you are phoning him, you know, do you start going into ghibat and badghumani, having a bad opinion about your Muslim brother, or whoever it might be? This is one negative out of many, dear viewers on Madani Channel. When you receive phone calls, do you straight away pick it up without any hesitation? You know, do you think to yourself that this person could be in trouble, or there's a real emergency? Because that's why people normally phone. You know, a lot of the times it's because they need something, they need help, they need advice, whatever. Sometimes it could be, madallah wa a'udhu billah, to talk about a Muslim brother or a Muslim sister and talk bad about them. This is entirely a different negative on its own. But what I'm sticking to is just making and receiving. So do you receive the phone call? And when you do you pick it up straight away? Do you be that person that, you know what, look, he needs help, whatever it is, I'm going to be there for him. And then on top of that, when you don't, pick up the phone and you don't take people seriously, when you start making phone calls, then you jump into Bugad and this and that and think to yourself, have a bad opinion about your Muslim brother. Why isn't he picking up my phone call? I'm special, I'm this, I'm that. It can lead to pride, it can lead to arrogance and ignorance. But the real thing, what I'm trying to say here, the real, thing out of all of this, dear viewers of Madani Channel, the reality is that look at yourself. When you are not picking up anybody's phone call, why will anybody else pick up your own phone call? So, receiving the phone call, you could say is the core to making the phone call. How? When you receive it, pick it up. Don't waste time. Especially when if you don't have time, it's real. There might be a situation where you're really in trouble yourself. You're in a meeting, you're in a Madani Mashra, whatever. You can't really answer the phone. But when you can, you should. A lot of us, we don't. And then when we make phone calls in front of everybody, we start cursing the person who we're phoning. Oh, he never picks up his phone call, he's like this, he's like that. But dear viewers of Madani Channel, how are me and you? When we receive a phone call, do we pick it up? Do we answer? Do we talk to our nigrans? Do we update our parents? All this kind of stuff. When we're out late night, your mother only cares. She wants to know if you're okay or not. Your father, he wants to make sure that you're coming home safely. Your nigran, he just wants an update of Madani work. He'll be there for you and he wants to help you do more. But above all of this, we don't pick up the phone. But then when we call somebody, we expect somebody to pick up our phone call. So here, the negative, leading to many other negatives, to keep it brief and short, dear viewers on Madani Channel, is that what kind of people are we? Is it that case that we always looking at other people, but we don't look at ourselves? So we should be very careful and try to understand and realize that what kind of Muslims are we? What image are we presenting ourselves? When you present an image, then you will also get an image. And this is what happens. In Islam, it's like this. The way you are, the way you act, people will treat you like that. You treat people with respect, they're going to treat you with respect. But if you act like you're, prideful, you're like this and you're like that, you come across arrogant and ignorant, nobody's going to give you the time of the day. So dear viewers of Madani Channel, that was one small negative. There's loads more negatives, but time doesn't allow me. I need to start going into the positives as well. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And dear viewers of Madani Channel, media listeners gives us this mindset that look, stay away from the bad and use it for good. It could be a means of forgiveness for you. And how, dear viewers of Madani Channel, we look at the intentions for making and receiving phone calls in the secret of earning huge reward. The first intention is mentioned that I will recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim before making and receiving a phone call, and saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu to any Muslim. I will take the initiative in making salam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, straight away we look at that there are three positive things that we can do. One is that I will recite Bismillah Sharif. I will recite Bismillah Rahman Rahim before making a phone call and receiving a phone call. And then I will say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Amir al-Sunnah mentions that I will take the initiative in making salam, meaning I myself, I'm going to give salam first. I'm going to try and give salam first. How many of us have this mindset that Dawat Islami gives us, that we have to refrain from all the bad, but every single good, little or small or big, whatever the action is, we're going to try and act upon this. We're trying to get this, gain this. And how we can do this is by following Amir alayhi sunnah, Damat Barakatumul Aliyah. What does he say? He says, step forward and give salam first. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Make the phone call, receive the phone call, whatever. Be the first to earn the reward. That's the main thing. Alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal. And then we go on further looking at the intentions of making and receiving phone calls, because ye bhi neki here, this is also a good deed and a very easy deed. Why do you views on Madani Channel? It's because we receiving and making phone calls throughout the entire day. Throughout the entire day. This is something we don't just do once, twice or three times in a day. This is something we could be doing about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times in a day. So what does it say here? It says that if I am under no compulsion, when I receive the call immediately and alleviate the concern of a Muslim brother, because people usually get worried when their calls are not received. And this is another big thing in our society today, dear viewers of Madani Channel. What is that whenever, like I was saying in the negatives, now we're moving towards the positives, but I'm going to link this, dear viewers of Madani Channel. When we receive a phone call, we have this habit of not picking up our phone call. Whether we are busy or not, it's a different thing, but we don't give value to some of the people. So we decide that, you know what, whoever's phoning, put it to the side. I don't care. I can't be bothered to answer this phone call. I can't be bothered to receive this phone call or talk to the person. He might be talking about this or that. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, he might have a general worry. There might be something that, he's generally concerned about. And when you don't pick up his phone call, he might get worried even more. So it's mentioned here, look at the beautiful pearls of wisdom that we are getting from Amir al-Sunnah, that when I am not busy, under no compulsion, then whenever I receive the phone call, I will try to answer it quickly. Why? Because I will reduce, one, I will stop him from getting more stress, being worried more, and two, when he is worried, which is most likely the case, whatever help, whatever worry he's in, whatever he needs, whatever help he needs, I will be there and I will help him. And you do this in the month of Ramadan, dear viewers of Madani Channel. Not only they're giving you dua by saying Assalamu alaikum and you saying Wa alaikum assalam, vice versa. But when you help them, the dua that they will give you from the heart, Ya Allah, help him in all his jais, duas, all his efforts, everything. Imagine that that's going to work for you and that's going to work for them as well. Allahu Akbar. So this is the beauty of this intention, that with every single thing in it that we have in our lives, in our daily activities, especially the phone, making and receiving phone calls, everything, we should try our best to make sure that we make good intentions in everything and refrain from all the bad. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala sallam. One final intention is that when you pick up the phone call, or you make a phone call, Amir al-Sunnah, I've just read that Amir al-Sunnah also mentions that I will say Sallu ala al-Habib at least once. And when I say Sallu ala al-Habib at least once, the brother will recite peace and blessings upon the best of creation, sallallahu ta'ala wasallam. And I will also send peace and blessings upon the best of creation, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. And doing this in the month of Ramadan, the rewards are endless. So we should also try to make targheeb. Not only we ourselves recite peace and blessings upon the best of creation, we should spread this. Imagine how beautiful this will be when everybody in the world is phoning one another, and when they phone, when they start, they send peace and blessings upon the best of creation, and when they finish, they also send peace and blessings upon the best of creation. Imagine that, dear viewers of Madani Channel. Imagine that day that we all do this. May Allah Azza wa Jal forgive me if I've said anything wrong, and enable us to not only, with every single good action that we do, our daily activity, we make more and more good intentions, but we keep watching Madani Channel and learn the Quran and Sunnah properly. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
Easy rewards, easy rewards.